So the Sabarimala temple entry case is back in the Supreme Court. And believe me, the conversation is shifting in a way that could literally redefine religious freedoms in India. Today, we're going to break down this crucial constitutional test. And if you're preparing for your GS papers, this is one legal tug of war you absolutely need to get your head around. At the very heart of this debate is a core constitutional conflict, right? It's about where an individual's right to worship ends and a religious group's right to manage its own traditions begins. The Supreme Court is once again trying to find that line, and wherever they draw it, you can be sure it's going to have ripple effects all across the country. All right, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at the big unresolved question. Then we'll rewind to that huge 2018 verdict. After that, we'll get into this new sampradaya test, which is a real game changer. We'll look at the court's core argument now, and finally, we'll unpack what this massive shift really means for constitutional law. So let's start at the beginning. What is the fundamental conflict that's so complex it needs a 9-judge constitutional bench to even look at it? Let's break it down. You know, at its heart, this whole case is a constitutional balancing act. Think of it like a set of scales. On one side, you have the individual's fundamental right to worship freely, without discrimination, but on the other side, you've got the right of a religious group to manage its own affairs and keep its traditions alive. The billion-dollar question the court has to answer is, when these two powerful rights clash, which one gets priority? Now, to really understand how significant the current hearing is, we have to jump in our time machine and go back to 2018. Back then, a landmark judgment was delivered that, well, it seemed to have settled this question once and for all, coming down firmly on the side of equality. And that 2018 verdict, wow, it was such a powerful statement on individual dignity. The court said, look, excluding women for biological reasons is discriminatory, and it's not an essential religious practice. They argued that this custom basically subordinated women, and that's a direct violation of their fundamental rights. So back then, the rights of the individual were placed on a pedestal, triumphing over the collective tradition. But, as you know, that 2018 ruling was challenged, which brings us to today's hearing by this bigger 9-judge bench. And here's the twist. The entire foundation of the legal test seems to be shifting. The conversation in that courtroom has taken a really dramatic turn, all focused on a different concept. You can just see the change so clearly here. The legal question isn't just about equality anymore. The whole focus has narrowed down to a specific test of tradition and following the rules. And it all revolves around one single, super important term, sampradaya. So what in the world is sampradaya? It's this term that's now at the very heart of the debate. Well, it refers to the unique, established customs and rituals of a specific temple. The legal argument that's emerging now is that your right to worship at that temple is actually conditional on you accepting its sampradaya. Now, what's really revealing is how the judges themselves are talking about this new focus. Their questions, their comments during the hearing, they give us a direct window into how the court's perspective might be evolving. Just listen to this observation from the bench. It's so powerful. It's essentially presenting a very stark choice. You can either accept the temple's practices and worship there, or you can challenge them. And by doing that, you're effectively stepping outside of that specific religious tradition. And this idea gets reinforced by another justice. See, the court is pointing out that Hinduism isn't just one single thing. It's a huge collection of diverse sampradayas. This implies that getting into any one temple isn't an absolute right. It's a conditional one. And the condition is following that temple's unique rules. And to ground this in reality, to make it less abstract, the court pointed to other common religious practices from all over India. I mean, think about it. Whether it's a dress code at one temple or covering your head at a gurudwara, the argument being built is that following specific rules as a condition to worship is something we already do. It's a widely accepted practice. Okay, so let's zoom out. What does this all mean? For anyone studying the Indian Constitution, especially all you IAS aspirants out there, really understanding the deep implications of this potential shift is absolutely critical. What we might be seeing here is a fundamental rebalancing of our constitutional rights. Remember, the 2018 verdict was all about Article 14, the right to equality, and Article 25, which protects an individual's religious freedom. But the current hearing seems to be elevating Article 26, the right of a religious group to manage its own affairs. The balance of power between the individual and the institution, it could be getting redrawn right before our very eyes. And so that leaves us with this monumental question. This is the central dilemma the 9-judge bench has to solve.
And honestly, it's your key takeaway. How should the Constitution balance individual equality against a group's right to its traditions? The answer to that question is going to shape religious freedom and individual rights in India for generations to come.